Presentation by Indigenous monarch, His Royal Majesty King Hlalale, Bataung Hlalale Royal Kingdom, on African traditions, customs and rites. Good evening and a very warm welcome to all the gracious leaders. Thank you for joining the Southern Africa Jural Assembly and Committee's education and discussion sessions with traditional leaders. We truly appreciate you being here and spending your time with us and stepping forward into your sovereignty and your full power with wisdom and courage and the servant leadership that everybody is looking for. The date today is April the 8th, 2025, and it is a Tuesday evening. Tonight, we've got a very wonderful session planned, and we would like to say a very big thank you to King Hlalale from the Bataung Hlalale Royal Kingdom for graciously accepting the request and invitation to do a presentation and lecture on African tradition. So we are very, very grateful for you stepping forward with that, King Hlalale, and we look forward to a lovely information session this evening. Before we begin, I would just like to mention our disclaimer that as we step into living in private as men and women in the land jurisdiction, we realize that we are each living souls with our own wisdom and our own foresight to be able to make decisions as to how we use educational material such as this. So everybody who joins these meetings and sessions, you make the choices with what you would like to do with this information. Thank you to all the gracious leaders for your time, and also to the SA Jural volunteers and members that are here this evening. We really appreciate everybody rolling up their sleeves and stepping onto the land to co-create our bright and abundant future. All right, so I think we would like to hand over the microphone and welcome King Hlalale. Welcome this evening, and how are you tonight?
Good evening. Good evening, Michelle.
Good evening, King Hlalale. Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much. To Shaka and all other hosts of the event, of this evening meeting, to the kings, queens, princesses, and all chiefs and headsmen and head ladies, I want to greet you all as a gracious people this evening. Let me thank you all. As Michelle has already said, I will be sharing the knowledge with you, and then I would love to be at ease. We'll be sharing this together, and I should think that will be wonderful. Thank you very much. And I should think I'm audible enough. And then let's get it on. Today we are going to deal with African tradition. And then as the prime head of the fundamental or the foundation that we'll be talking about. Gracious leaders, sovereigns. And then let us start by trying to have the overall thought of the session of today. I want us all that you may help me to participate. And then we've got a lot of the lifestyles, the living, the methods that people on earth are living with, the governments, the way that people are doing and behaving. There's a lot of things that we can quote, but let us come alive on some questions that we can ask ourselves, because I feel and I know that it's so crucial to have an understanding of the traditional way of doing things. Let me try to elaborate by saying we are looking and seeing that in the history of the world, it can be the people and institutions that are famous to be the ones that are having education in their hands. We can talk about the WASP, of which is white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. We've got Pythagoras, we've got Socrates, we've got Plato's. Those are well-known institutions that we looking up to them to understand or to look at it as the institution that can give it all. But let us see a little bit before we get into the main topic. Where are they getting they've got their education from? We found that all those that I have just tried to elaborate, they have got the education right from Africa. And then this means the Africa has a tradition of the indigenous way that it is so deeply rooted in the people, in their nation, to be a core of life, a totality. Therefore, we can understand that. Let us guess a little bit of what the form or the way of how the Africa tradition is making this work even more than any other countries in the world. We can quote the very same Plato. Plato has trained in Africa for 26 solid years to know what he knows now, to know to go to the moon, checking the stars, constellation of the planets. The Plato has been taught right here in Africa for 26 years. And even the others that I quoted, they have been taught in Africa to do whatsoever seems to be very upheld by everyone in the world to be something that it's so clever or being the only education that they can do. Therefore, let us just try to browse on this before we get into the deeper topic. And then can any one of us can give me just quickly, maybe for 5 or 6 minutes, the following. How many questions that we might have as people, or a man or a woman could have in life? Is anybody who can just give me an answer on that one? Michelle, you can check for me how many questions that a person could have or always ask.
Thank you, King Hlalele. I'm just looking to see if we've got any questions or answers in the chat box around that, or if anybody would like to put their hands up.
Good evening, everyone, every member, all your Royal Highnesses, your Royal Majesties, and all members present and those who didn't manage to come in. Yes, to go straight to the question, there are about 6 questions that somebody can ask. Those questions are 5 W's and H, Your Majesty, I think.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me give someone else who can just add or maybe have a different opinion on that.
Thank you, King Hlalele. Is there anybody else of the gracious leaders who would like to add to King Hlalele's question? Any of the chiefs, the kings, headmen and headwomen? Would anybody else like to contribute? King Hlalele, there's no replies in the chat box at the moment.
Okay. Thank you very much, Michelle.
Thank you.
Can you remind me who's the sovereign who answered me there?
That was Chief, I'm just checking here, it was Chief Indaba.
Yes.
It was Chief Indaba.
Chief Ndaba, thank you very much. You're exactly correct. You are exactly correct. And then can you mention what those questions are, so that you enlighten us? Yes.
Your Majesty, King Hlalele and members, as I said, there are 6 of them, which are 5 W's and H. Those are the 5 W's is what is happening or what is going on, and then where is it happening, when it has happened or when it will happen, and then is who is done by who's doing it, or who is receiving it, why is it happening, and then the H is how it gonna happen or how it happened. It depends whether it's on the past tense, the present tense, or the future tense, but it's still, those are the 5 W's and H. I thank you, Your Majesty.
Thank you very much, my royal. Thank you very much. This is excellent. If I prefer the oral lecturing, because it's where I get motivated when I'm looking at them and we talk like this. Thank you very much. This is excellent. Then I've got just another little question here. Could any one of us can elaborate or tell me, why do we study?
Thank you, King Hlalele. I'm just checking with any of the leadership and the gracious attendees this evening. Would anybody like to share a reply with King Hlalele? Why do we study? Chief Indaba, would you like to share an answer again?
With humbleness, all your majesties, your highnesses, and every member, I believe that the reason to study is to get more knowledge, to empower the mind in order to do things in a better way. That's my belief. I thank you, Your Majesty.
Thank you very much, my Royal Highness. Thank you very much. And then I should think we'll move quicker, because my chief is very, very eager to get into this, and I highly appreciate. And then can anyone put another answer to that? Why do we study?
Thank you, King Hlalele. Is there anybody else who would like to contribute? Headman Malatsi, please go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Good evening to Your Majesty and all members in the House. So, in addition to what the visit has already said, is where we learn in order to refine our knowledge. So we acquire knowledge, as he said, but we also refine it because knowledge keeps on evolving. So when we continue learning or studying, we refine what we already know and make it perfect or better.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chief.
Thank you.
Hlalele, sorry to interrupt. We also do have Chief Hlakiso who would like to contribute as well. Chief Hlakiso, please open your microphone up. We see that your hand is up. Chief Malachi, your hand is up. You're welcome to open your microphone. Apologies for the delay. There we go.
Yes. Good evening, all kings, queens, chiefs, chieftainess, all traditional leaders. I greet you. Let me thank you, King Hlalele, to give us an opportunity to participate in this session. So yeah, I just thought let me at least give my input with regard to a question. Why do we study? We study for different reasons. One can study for personal growth and development. You grow yourself and you also develop through studying. Some do study for career and personal advancement. Some will do study for enjoyment or personal fulfillment. So yeah, those are some of the reasons why we study. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief Hlakiso. Thanks very much. Michelle, I continue. The other aspect that is most important that I just want to ask to add, and Chief Hlakiso, he got closer to it when he's talking about a career like or something. But the correct and the only answer is we study to know methodology. We study to know methodology. And then amongst all these other correct answers, there is something that we have to finalize here. We have to finalize just here. And then we are having 2 or 3 things that are so known as to be the core of livelihood. And then these words are 3 of them. And it's very encouraged by many people, and many people see it to be very important in life at large. Those 3 words are knowledge, hard work, attitude. Knowledge, hard work, attitude. And then any one of us can elaborate that amongst these 3, what is the very important aspect or wording or in that the sentence in these 3: knowledge, hard work, attitude. Can anyone participate?
Thank you, King Hlalele, and just an invitation to any of the gracious leaders who would like to add to King Hlalele's question with a reply. Would anybody be able to contribute there? You're more than welcome to open your microphone or pop your hand up. And we've got, I think it's Chief Mapali Malachi. You are welcome to please go ahead. Thank you for opening your microphone.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Chiefs, and everyone present today. According to me, the attitude comes first before everything. Because if you need to have knowledge and you don't have a good attitude in a way that you are willing to have that knowledge, then you can't have the knowledge. I think attitude comes first to all of everything. That's my answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Shaka.
Thank you,
Yes.
King Hlalele. Could I interrupt you and just ask if you could please repeat the question? Chief Malachi asked in the chat box if you could repeat that question, please.
It is 3 words. That is knowledge, hard work, and attitude. Which word amongst the 3 is worth more than the others?
Thank you. Thank you, King Hlalele. And we also have Chief Ndabazita's hand up. Chief Ndabazita, please open your microphone and go ahead.
Good evening, members, Your Highnesses, Your Majesties, and all protocol observed. Your Majesty and Your Highnesses, I believe what Inkosi Malachi has said is about actually the attitude is the best knowledge, because attitude will lead to a better knowledge. The attitude will also lead to a hard work or smart work, but it all starts with the attitude. That's my point. I thank you, Your Majesties.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Thank you, my Highness. And then you are both correct. So correct. This one, I cannot even go longer with it. It is so correct. And then let me just try to elaborate why the attitude is so much important for all of us, for every human being, for every person, or for every man and woman. This is very important. And then let me try to elaborate on the knowledge. And knowledge, it can be anything that can be posed to anybody, and with or without being tested, being proven, without being tested to be true or false. Because in the knowledge, there is a synthetic truth and the rightful truth as it is. And between the two, it is not easy for us to discern if we have never get into the challenges, or that we have never got deeper in educating ourselves to prove every statement that we come across in our lifetime. I don't want to make an example, but as I'm saying, each one of us know that there is a lot of things that has been put in someone's head that are so unuseful, so disgrunting the life or the performance of somebody or making that particular somebody to go astray or to be slacked in what he could have in life by being given by the Creator or a birthright. We have learned a lot of things that we have realized after getting into this kind of meetings, whereby we are realizing now that most of them, they were untrue. Then getting to a hard work, it could happen that most of false statement has oppressed people to work hard on something that cannot even benefit nothing or enough for the work or the hard work of somebody could put as a thread of his life or her life. The attitude is correct. The attitude has 100% because it's got all balances of a manner, disposition, position, a feeling with regard to a person, to a thing, a tendency, or orientation. This is a well-balanced way of life and the standard of a set of mind that it got so balanced. Why I'm quoting this? We are going to get into a major subject of the day. But before that, I would love maybe if anyone of us here, if you have something to ask about this or anything else concerning while we have talked about, I can allow and give you a chance so that because we are helping each other, we are growing each other, we are giving hand, we are working hand in hand for us to grow. It is for us to participate. And when you think of something, speak it, because it is only by speaking the words that you thought in your mind that makes you be strengthened. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you very much, King Hlalele, and just an invitation to any of the gracious leaders. If you have any questions or comments you would like to make at the moment, please feel free to open your microphone or put your hand up. Is there anybody who would like to contribute something at this time? And as King Hlalele said, it's all about supporting each other on this very important journey and coming together in unity, because there really is strength in unity. Is there anybody who would like to contribute anything at this moment? King Hlalele, it looks like at the moment there are no additional comments at this point.
Okay, thank you very much, Shaka. Thank you, Michelle. We are coming across just a little bridge before we get into the main issue. And then is anyone who can tell me maybe two or three to four sentences to elaborate and explaining who are you?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and then you can make just short sentences or even 2 or 3 or 4, and then so that you can just elaborate on what you say shortly within a minute or so. Thank you.
Thank you very much, King Hlalele. The invitation is to any of the gracious leaders to share who you are. And if you would like to contribute, please open your microphone and or put up your hand. Either or is fine. Would anybody like to contribute to that question? Chief Ndabezitha, please go ahead. Your microphone is closed, Chief.
Sorry, you know, technology, we were born during the Tokoloshi time. Now technology is very difficult. Your Majesties and Your Highnesses, I am Paramount Chief Ndabezitha Ndaba of the Ndaba Kingdom. What I can just say, I'm a media personnel also. Yes, being good in media and agriculture, those are my fields. Also, I'm somebody who interact and socialize and work well with the different kingdoms throughout the country, South Africa and other countries. I thank you, Your Majesties and Your Highnesses.
Thank you very much, My Royal Highness. Anybody who can say anything?
King Hlalale, thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to contribute and share who you are, where you come from, a little bit about yourself? Is anybody keen on sharing some information? You're welcome to open your microphone. Okay, there we go. Chief Malachi, please go ahead. Your microphone is open.
Good evening. I think the way Chief Hlalale wanted to be is for us to know ourselves. In a way of this way, I am Mapalle Malachi, the son of Mufiti Malachi, a grandson of Mapalle, who Mapalle is the grandson of Nkaile. Nkaile, who is a grandson of Makikele. I think maybe that's how I put it, by saying who I am, my father, who is my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, going down, 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 until to the end where we can say we holding God with our own hands, because we are the gods ourselves. So I believe by knowing ourselves from where we are going back, that's how we will know who we are. Thank you.
Excellent, My Royal Highness. Very excellent. And I want to encourage also, and again, as Michelle and Shaka said, I love maybe if we can even participate more than this, because participation really, it puts you in a position whereby you find the warmth in you, because in everything you say, everything you think of, and confess it and speaking out with your mouth, it builds yourself, it builds even others. Participating is very important. It is so important. I want to thank you very much. And then let me just round it up there, because it was the last one before we get into the main one. And then what is happening in the same sense is that in an African way of life, or in an African law, that is basically speaks about the natural law before these other laws. You would never speak to anyone getting into the house or village before you explain yourself. You wouldn't. Brother Thomas was saying, and then making illustration or example, when getting to Venda, that when you get into the village, you have to sit there And there will be people that are there ready, looking for everyone who's getting in. You'll be set down and be given whatsoever that you can eat or drink. After doing that, it will be another procedure that you will be led to speak, and to the right people that are working and are doing as a task, as a lifestyle that is not taken as a job of nowadays, that you are hired to go to a certain firm, and then when you are out, when you want to speak, you can, and when you don't, it's up to that somebody who the client or somebody. But in a traditional way, it was a matter of must. It was a life that anyone gets into the village or home need to be done, all these aspects, 1, 2, 3 of them, up until it get to the core, that that particular somebody will be now let in and speak or do or ask whatsoever that he or she is there for. And in that form, everything, if we can look or understand it more clearly or remember, because most of these things, it doesn't to say that we don't know. Some we know, but we forgotten. Some we know about them, but we thought they are the things that were done in the old times and are not important. We are having the problems today in our lives because of unknown people. We are having a problem of people that we cannot even identify. We are having a problems in today's lives in economically and then even socially and even in a life at large, where we got a lot of abuse of every aspect of life because of people that we have never even realized that are in our lives, in our homes, in our friendship, of our kids, of our wives, of our relatives, or whosoever that we can mention. It is a serious problem, even if we can take it light or not realizing that we have just brought ourselves some troubles that we cannot solve because of the attitude that it has been dispositioned us from where we should be as the core foundation of every and daily lifestyle or a living. Thank you. But as I wanted to say or elaborate the significance of checking and watching and making sure that every person that comes in our jurisdiction, in our vicinity, in our premises, in our world, we need to have a proper communication, a proper way of doing things. And all these things were done in court, in the khotla. There was the khotla for everything. And then in the khotla, there was finalization of every matter, either small or big. It was where everything should be handled and be recorded and be done in the right way with the relevant people and with the relevant communication. Thank you. Then in the overall of what we spoke about, it's very important. Number one, knowing yourself. Knowing yourself is one of the very important aspects in life. And then you must know yourself in total. You must know who you are, where you come from, your lineage, and other aspects of life that it's in connected with you. How you get born, by whom, and then like to know, even for, if you believe that your parents has brought you on earth, what they were thinking, what you have been taught by them, what they were, their desire in your life, what they have given you as as a guidance in your life, what is been their wish to your life, and then all those things, they are the built up that makes you to be in a get up where in life, and how in life you get to be conducted, and you conduct even other people. It's very important aspects. Secondly, is knowing your gift. Knowing your gift, it is not easy. It is not easy, but knowing your gift, it helps a person, yourself first, and the other people. When you have dig down and want and to have the knowing how and what is your gift, it makes you to stick in what you are able to do most, and that the gift doesn't hide from somebody. The gift, it's something that you feel connected in it, you feel love being it, you feel being possible to do, be feeling that there is nothing else that I can do except I'm doing what I'm doing. That is a gift in somebody's life. And then if you can follow it, and if you can know it, it can be profitable for you, the next person, your family, your wife, your kids, your relatives, people in the street, people in the village. When you express it and let it be known, even all other people will come and you'll know how to save them. That is the second fact. The third fact is knowing your talent. To notice the talent in your life, it is not a far-fetched. It is when you think of something, you are getting a way of how to connect with it. When you think of something, you are able to enlighten in your inner self, even into the conduct that you have to promote or to deal with that particular aspect, and having a way of doing it better, not more than anyone else, but better, by saying you are able to connect it with your life, to connect it with others, and having seeing it, and having the way of how you align it. That is how you can see what kind of a talent, or that you are having a talent on your life, that you can elaborate, do it for yourself and even for others. The fourth part of this the whole spectrum is knowing the influence, or the right influence. We have to ask ourselves what influences us in doing some of the things. Influence can be what you eat, what you wear, what you drink, what you used to do, what you hear, what you listen to, what you walk in it or use in any way around your body in your environment, that can be an influence. And then the people that has been making this and using the influence, they have made sure that they are portraying the way that they want you to feel, you to see, to do things, to eat, and to drink. That's why there are the adverts. The adverts are making your mind, your ears, your eyes to look on something. And then by so doing, they make it so accurate and so lovely that it can even attract your lifestyle. It can even change your mindset. It can even giving you a certain way of looking to other things. That's why every marketing is marketing is influenced for a certain thing. They can even advertise the very same soap or the other against the other, but they will never say that they are normal and they are the same thing, because each and everyone has in mind that they must get people to buy their product. And then they are using one thing, they are using the influence. And then meaning, what I'm trying to elaborate here is that you must know what kind of influence influences your life, influences your decision, influences your love life, influences the trust, influences the walk of life, influences your trust, influences your life at large in total. You must be aware of this. You must have the choices of what should influence your life and in which manner. Thank you very much. If there could be any question on this, Shaka or Michelle.
Thank you very much, King Hlalele. I will have you know that there have been 2 comments in the chat box from Queens, and their words are so beautiful. If I read them out, I won't do them justice. If there's any chance that perhaps Queen Mathaki, is there any chance that you're able to open up your mic and read your beautiful, powerful words yourself, to give your words your voice? That would be gorgeous. That would be just wonderful. If you cannot, we will read it for you. And Princess Tumisang, the same question I will ask you after Queen Mutaki. So Queen Mutaki, are you able to read your words out that you popped in the chat box? It will sound wonderful if you could. No bullying. I'm not bullying anybody.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening. Yes, loud and clear. Wonderfully so. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm saying I am the image of God, because when God created us, he said, let us create our own image. And again, he said, This is beautiful. Then it means when you said fearfully made, it is made boldly, strong, with belief. So God has also given me the opportunity to lead his people as I am a queen, to lead them in a way of, in a cultural way, because we can be leaders in different ways. For example, like the politicians, they are leaders, they are on the other platform. So mine is in a cultural way. Thank you.
I've got goosebumps. Thank you so much. That is just beautiful. And it is wonderful to hear your voice. Wouldn't you agree, King Hlalele?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's beautiful, my queen. Thank you very much. And now this is awesome. And then if we can do any.
We have got Queen, if I may cut in, if I may be so rude, we have also got Princess Tumisang. Princess Tumisang, shall I give you a fair chance to also perhaps read your words, or you can just talk them out if you don't wish to read them, because they are also beautiful. Thank you very much. If you are able to, that would be lovely.
Good evening. Good
Good
evening,
evening. Please go ahead.
Okay, royal greetings to all my kings and the royal queens and the princesses and the chiefs. My name is Tumisang Diamonds and I'm based in Katlehong, Zonkizizwe Zone 3. I am a unique triplet twin. I am a diamond. I am unbreakable. I understand nature and I'm gold. I am a goddess. Nature is in me. God is life in me. I'm interested in aquaponics agriculture and I'm a leader. I'm very happy to be part of the undisputed sovereign nation under the leadership of Bataung Royal Kingdom. My king is Mr. Jacob Hlalele. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Princess, for sharing your story. It is absolutely invaluable to hear every man and woman's voice participating here. Thank you very much. And I'm going to hand back over to King Hlalele.
Thank you very much, Shaka. Thank you very much, Princess. Thank you to stick up and to say so awesome words. Thank you. And then I don't have to make any ado. We are getting now in the understanding or a broader understanding of three major core things, of which is tradition, culture, or you can say custom, and the third one is rights. And to this one, I would like just to read them as they are, and then I will try maybe to give a chance to ask after I finish each and every one of them, so that we can go quicker. Thank you. The tradition of indigenous Africa identity, the indigenous identity of any other country, but more especially, I want to talk about the Africa that we live in. And then how do you become, or how do you realize that you are an indigenous person or people? There are just a few things here that I just want to articulate, because there is a difference between tradition, a culture or custom, and the rites. These are the three arms of a traditional methodology of life at large. It covers everything. In our traditional way or a traditional law, that we concentrate more on the natural law and having a sense of living the life that we cannot even have a choice to come out. This is how strictly tradition is. I remember one day another king in the Jewish family, King Jesus, has made a very miraculous way. And when he was saying a words to the Creator, and then there rose a Moses, the one who has been passed away long time. And then there was Elijah, the one who was doing the work very in the long in the ancient time. And then they rose, there were three of them, and they were seen as physical as possible. And then this shows us what a greater connection that man or a woman lives now. They are living in a connection of the ones that were afore or before him or her. And then at that, it coming to be in praise by so-called common law that we hear of it now. It connects so correctly because the common law, it gives a preference of somebody who has been there before. And then if I am like who I am, my father has been before me. The father of my father was before my father. And that lineage going back, it means that the privilege is given to the one who has came before me and before my father and before my father's father. And it can go in line with that. This is so awesome. And it is how the African tradition law goes. They are having all the respect of the people that are before them. It can be in any other way. It can be in the jurisdiction. If somebody has been there before and then living in that place, it is given, or he is given, the better privilege of a word or a rule that has to be practiced by the people that are coming after. I'm saying one day, the very same Jesus Christ himself, he has been asked that, what about the tradition? Should we shift from tradition? He said, the tradition I come to fulfill. And then there is no way that it can be shifted. There could be no way that can be destroyed. Meaning, at the same time, the African tradition law was so fascinating, was so bounding, that you cannot even have a choice to do it or not to do, to practice it or to practice the other. The tradition laws are so binding in an African way. And if you can look all over the laws that came after, the laws that has been put by whosoever, it can be by colonialism or the other good laws that are there, they are following in an actual manner how African traditional law was being practiced. And I wanted just to clarify the significance of the traditional law of the African. And then let me try to open up that there was the principles that are put in the place under tradition. I can name the first one is a totem. A totem is the key. It is in line with a certain animal that one is relating to, and you cannot change it. And it is the mark of showing which country are you from, or which continent are you from. All people that are living in Africa are having the totem as a mark of who you are. Secondly, is the territory. The territory is the best place of where your great ancestor has been born. And then it cannot be changed. It got a name. It is a tag of identification. And even now, after million years, that's why we knowing ourselves, because we know our totem, we know our territory. And has been said with the principles that it should not be erased. The third part is a titula. A titula, it is the name after a totem. The titula, it is the tag of tracing you to your lineage that correspond with the territory, that correspond with the totem. That is a titula. And the fourth one is a name, a clan name. A clan name describes you in that tribe or the ethnic group to classify you to be known as who. And the fifth one, if I'm not mistaken, or the sixth one, is veneration. A veneration, it is the words that it's taught orally by your elders, and in exchange verbally or orally being taught a child when he is born, a child when he is growing up, you will be taught to say your veneration, not on the book, but in your head, in your mind, so that this thing can anchor you and making the knowledge to be built in. The other aspect under veneration is a birth name. A birth name, each and every name has the meaning. That's why we can say in my language, as Sesotho, re lebitso lebe ke seromo, lebitso letle ke sebabatso. In the English, if I may try to explain it, it says, a birth name is willful consentment for the child to a birth fate. But the best name, it is a praise, meaning that the name, as the African believe, they were believing in the word, That's why they were careful on every word that you must say as an adult, as an infant, as a baby, as a youth, or whosoever age you may be. They were so careful on the words that you speak. That's why even when you grow up or being an elderly person, you would never swear to or insult somebody. You wouldn't be, you couldn't be. There will be no one who will want to hear the insult of any kind, because that was a law. It was a principle under the law of tradition. You wouldn't there be here to say anything, even a word that is closely to an insult. You shouldn't gonna speak it or utter it in any manner, in any manner. And then I can elaborate that even more and more if we would have time. But I wanted to say that the word, meaning the name of any kind, was respected and being put in a certain way that has to fit in the mind of a person. Because now the world of the people and the environment that we live in, people are allowed so-called freedom of speech. I don't know what actually they meant about that. People are talking, speaking the way they want to anyone. They are even being taught to call their elders by their names without the respect, without any title. And that is a diminution of the one who has came before you. And then I would quote Jesus again. He said that the greatest law is to love yourself and to love your God, and to love your neighbor, and respect your parents, so that your days would be strengthened and be longer. It is because of this fact that we're facing the world today, that people are being shortened with life. It is not because only with the sickness. It is not only with the dangers or the wars that are done by people that are being so greedy, but it is in addition of how people talk to each other, how young are talking to the elders, and the elders are talking the way they like because they think they've got a freedom. But in a natural law, in an African tradition law and their principles, they forbidden that there should be no one that should utter a word of insult or any way of being unacceptable to the others, to be spoken in any manner. This is the kind of a traditional law that was so fascinating, that was so protecting the lives of our elders to live long, to live with courage, to live with victorious, to live with the strength that we have seen, that they even lived longer than most of people that we living in today, or with this nowadays. And then this is the kind of a spectrum that if we can see it, if we can learn about it and look deeper and have a difference of a lifestyle, even in the things we do, things we say, things we sense in our lives, it can change our lives and make our world and the earth to be anew by us and through us. Thank you. And then this is only one part of a tradition law. If we are still having some few minutes, I will just read out these other two aspects. If you, Michelle, allow me to carry on, these only two aspects that we left with, or
yes.
maybe.
Yes, please, King Hlalele, please do continue. This is really wonderful wisdom. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We are getting to a culture or a custom, culture stroke custom. And then in a culture, come on, Chairman, what do you call this? Kesetso, a tradition ke moetlo, rites ke maseko. In this aspect, culture or cultural law, and of which has been extended to be customary law, it deals similar but in a different way. In a culture or in a cultural law, we deal with a race. We deal with race. We deal with the look. We deal with health. We deal with socio-economy. We deal with addressing the conflicts. We deal with what we wear. We deal with the food. We deal with the language. We deal with the areas. We deal with customization of ethnicity. We deal with guiding. We deal with training. We deal with learning and other aspects, meaning that this is a formulation of how the methodology of how our foreparents was doing what. This is explanation of a culture or a custom. Thank you. I'm passing quick to the third part of one of the prime laws, the rights. In the rights, Amasigo or Masiko, we deal with succession of tribes. We deal with succession of families, of children, of possessions, of categories, of duties, of royal successions, of services, of community, of renamings, of the ritual, of the defense, and all other things that deals with a particular family, particular lineage, or particular group or a section of particular lineages, clan, tribe, moieties, frighties, or even the groups and the families, the hereditary transmission and patrilineal and matrilineal groups, a person's names, and so forth. That is the right. And then I mentioned even the rituals, meaning this is the way of how to practice and to do things in order. This is an order of doing or practicing of the two, practicing of tradition and a culture. And there are three major laws that are governs, that are making the life of the Africans to be straightforward. And then if maybe we would have some time to come, we will look into each and every aspects that I have mentioned under this mentioned laws, how that was to be done. And when like we were even know the succession of the tribes, and then families, and then royal successions. Today, most of people in the royalty, they are fighting, they are accusing each other, they are fighting for the positions, and there are no positions. If we were practicing our rituals, I'm sorry, if we were practicing our rights, amasiko, we wouldn't have a problem of quarreling or fighting for any position in anyhow, in succession of anything, because there is a procedure, there is a way, there is a principle of making the checks and balances. And then we wouldn't even don't have the fight of modern days today, that who is the first people, who is first what, who is indigenous people, who we couldn't have them. Now, what I'm saying, this is indigenous identity of African tradition law. We cannot have any mistake. You wouldn't, if we were to walk and have a lifestyle of the original, where all in the world, the so-called accolades of education had to come back and study and being educated and being trained, they wouldn't have gone this far as they would. And then even on our side, we wouldn't have been in this lifestyle of destitute if we were held up in a correct manner of the indigenous traditional African laws and abide in them, because there is everything that we need to do fully fledged, running and being nurtured and being guided by the family, because a family in every life, in every space of the world, the family is the best thing and the best teacher is a parent. If any of a parent would have been abide in the way that life should be, there would be no chaos that we facing today, where everybody has been put in her or in his seat, in his way, in a proper manner, with a respect. I thank you. If anyone would want to say something, you are allowed to do so. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you so much, King Hlalele. And that is truly incredible information that you have shared. And I speak for myself to say it is so wonderful to hear you talking about going back to ancient tradition and wisdom to be able to co-create our future. And it is definitely a future that is very bright and positive to be able to draw on this original knowledge. So thank you so much, King Hlalele, for this incredible opportunity of learning and hearing all of this. We do have a couple of people who have put, some of the gracious leaders have put questions and comments into the chat box. Shaka, would you like to maybe just run through them and see which of the leaders have put questions in and who might like to speak up and contribute your voice? I'm going to go to Headman Chepa Molatsi because we missed you on the earlier go around. So Headman Molatsi, would you like to please contribute?
Okay, thank you, Director of the meeting. Once again, I would like to thank His Majesty King Hlalele for wonderful words. More of a lecture that is good in driving our mindset, especially in the space of the monarch or traditional houses. So, based on the presentation, I am more concerned of, because of what you were presenting, because of what has been presented, I'm concerned about the age we are in, since we want to uphold these traditions that give us our true identity. They keep us bound to our true identity. So how do we navigate around preserving them while we are in this era or this age, and also knowing that we are going forward as a people all over the world? Because I have this concern that we want to preserve, but we are fighting against so many competitive matters around the world that challenge what we want to preserve. So how do we navigate around that area? Because there are many things that challenge so many traditions that give us, that keep our identity. How do we navigate? It's a complex matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. I'll hand over to King Hlalele.
I thank you very much, My Royal Highness. To this effect, it's upon us, because as we understood this, the core thing is to start up the whereby we can meet and then have all the details of everything that has been elaborated and then mentioned today. And then secondly, it can be starting up our courts. Our courts are so essential and important, whereby all people, all the wise people will be together and then dealing with the matters accordingly and making people aware of the potential that they have, because it's only realization of a man and a woman, the virtues that you have, and this will be only revoking them, and you are a strong nation ever. Thank you.
Thank you very much, King Hlalele. Much appreciated. All right, I'm going to go through the questions in the chat box. As usual, I will ask people to contribute their questions themselves. All right. Chief Ndaba, would you like to verbally add your comment about traditions are clouded?
Oh, yes, Your Highnesses, Your Majesties. Really, these lectures of this nature are very, very, very much important, and I can see now, because they open the third eye, they open the way we do things, they make it more clearer to each and every leader as the representative of the communities, societies, and nation, that we really need to have indigenous schools. We really need to have indigenous teachings, especially because our communities are now made to only believe in politicians. The politicians has clouded the space of the royal traditional leaders in a manner that they duplicated themselves in another way to become more important to the communities, for the communities to believe more in them than the royal traditional leaders. By disarming them the power, by disarming them the information and other aspects of economy, which include the agriculture and the land rights. That is why at the end of the day, the communities and societies, they ended up seeing politicians as better people than the royal kingdoms. Whereas on the other hand, they made the kings to sit down and wait, or not to do things by themselves, saying, no, I'm the king, or I'm the paramount chief, I'm the headman, I won't go to the side, I won't go to do this, I won't participate physically on matters. And in that manner, that's where they gained, the politicians, they gained more power to replace. Actually, they have replaced the leadership, the indigenous leadership. Therefore, I can see it is very, very much important for the teachings. It is very much important to have schools, to have such teachings, even in our public schools, private schools in the country and the continent. I thank you, Your Highness and Your Majesties.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Go
Yes.
ahead. Carry on.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ndabesita. Thank you very much for your contribution. And you are seconding the fact of really we need a workshop in the very same sense where everything will be articulated and speak about the significance of every item that we spoken. I thank you.
Thank you very much, King Hlalele.
Shaka. Sorry, Shaka, I'm also just going to add a little bit in here as well. Gratitude, King Hlalele, for everything that you've shared, and also to Paramount Chief Ndabazita as well, and to the leaders who've mentioned about the importance of focusing and building on this kind of knowledge, and also talking about politicians and the political structure. I'll come back to the beautiful words that were spoken by Princess Tumisang and Queen Mutaki, talking about you are gods, and how important it is to remember that, because with this kind of powerful knowledge and wisdom that you are bringing back up into being, and focusing on this future that you wish to co-create, you turn your attention to this only and do not get distracted, and keep focusing on building your kingdoms. Keep focusing on bringing your families and your traditions back into being, because when you do this, and this is how South Africa and Southern Africa get set up, you are truly creating a future that is bright for everybody that lives on this continent. So it's important to know who you are, as King Hlalele so beautifully said, and to focus on this, and to keep your attention on bringing this into being. So thank you so much, King Hlalele, again for the wonderful knowledge. I would also just like to mention in the chat box, we've got King Chezi. King Chezi, you are more than welcome to open your microphone as well. King Chezi shared gratitude to you as well, King Hlalele, and also King Skokie Makhoba has also expressed gratitude, as well as many of the chiefs and the headmen as well. So if there's anybody else who would like to open their microphone and go ahead, I think Chief Malachi, your microphone is open. You are more than welcome to contribute.
And then Chief Sitelo to follow.
Thank you, Shaka. Chief Malachi.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good evening.
Chief Mapal Malachi. Thank you. I'd like to say thank you to our King Hlalele. The lecture, the teaching was very good, and it was spiritual. According to me, it was about him to know oneself. Oneself meaning you take everything from inside. That is attitude. The teaching was about ourselves. It wasn't about anyone else. According to my understanding, it was about oneself. To be yourself, to know yourself, so that you can understand according to how yourself understand, not how other people understand, so that we can be together with different understanding and build one thing. That's how I understood Chief Hlalele, King Hlalele's lecture today is about knowing ourselves. So from today on, everyone needs to know that attitude counts. How you approach things count. Because how you approach things comes from within oneself. Meaning, you become angry, you become how, is because of his coming inside you. So Chief Hlalele was trying to teach us to be ourselves and to know us so that we can approach everything the way we supposed to approach it, not the way other people approach things. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was wonderful. Thank you for your contribution. Chief Sitelo?
Good evening, everyone, the kings, the chiefs, queens, and the prince, princess. I greet you all, protocol observe. Let me thank you the presentation that we really have tonight. Is very wonderful and also is very appreciated. My contribution towards the presentation right now, what I'm thinking of, I guess each and every nation, every chieftains, everyone, let us go to the people, because the people, as other chiefs said before, they are captured by the politicians. Let us go and do a restoration of peace and the unity so that the people can understand what is the customary law related, because the customary law is natural and also it's something that is needed to lead us. It's something that we are supposed to really appreciate. And also it's something that we have to, as the people, honor it, because the traditional leadership, all the chiefs, kings, and other people are from God. No one would just appoint himself to be a chief or to be a king. It's only God who chooses us to take these roles because of we are follow our genealogies, that is our forefathers. Even myself, as I'm standing here, I'm not representing myself. I'm representing my forefathers to be what I am. So what I'm trying to say, if we can take this opportunity and teach our people, or making a restoration of peace, unity, we can fight and also we can win the political challenge that we are facing in our communities, in our area, the whole country. So it's what I need to say. I really appreciate even the team who's preparing us to come to this platform and talking about what we're talking. Thank you very much, everyone. Let's hope God will help us and give us wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Sitelo. King Hlalele, would you like to respond to that?
Thank you very much, Michelle. Thank you for thank you for the words that my Royal Highness has said. This is true, and then I'm happy again that your testimony testify the reality of what we should be, and then the respect that we give to other royals. It is the respect that we are actually not giving to them as people, but we are giving to them that were before them, and that on its own it brings us the value of winning the challenges that we are facing in nowadays world, and we are going to be victorious because they have been kept this earth, they kept this continent, they kept the very same territory where we are with victorious manner that we today lack to understand and even to uphold. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, King Hlalele. There's a message in the chat from King Chezi to say his phone He's not letting him speak up. All right. Is there anybody else that would like to add anything here? It is wonderful, absolutely wonderful to have this evening's presentation by King Hlalele, and it wouldn't have been the same without all your contributions. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. We're knitting our souls together and we're going to move forward and upwards together. Is there anybody?
Shaka, I would also just like to mention King Hlalele. At any point in time that you would like to continue with these lectures and presentations, so to follow on and to go into more detail and in depth, this Zoom platform is available to you and to any of the traditional leaders who would like to make use of this platform. So whenever you are ready and you would like to continue, please let us know and we will make sure to facilitate it for you.
Thank you very much, Shaka. Thank you for the gracious welcoming and acceptance. We really need it, and we can even do it every day if the time was allowing us. But I will let you know, and then I will want us to help each other, even to allocate whatsoever documentation that could be, and even the recording, so that we can see and hear ourselves where we left other things that we have never interrogated. And then, because there is a lot, we can take much time on this. And then I appreciate that you foresee that it's important that we must have another way of communicating with the very same lecture. Thank you very much. And then for all gracious leaders that are in here, we will make the setup before June, that all will be together, and then having the workshop physically as we can agree. And then if that could be the interest, as most of you have said, let us know, and then see how and where we can put up the venue for the workshop, so that we can carry on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, King Hlalele. Much appreciated. And Michelle, closing words from you.
Thank you, Shaka, and thank you, King Hlalele, so much again. Also to the gracious leaders, there are a few who have joined new to the Zoom platform. I'm going to put into the chat box now the email address. So if you would like to receive the invitations for the future presentations and lectures with King Hlalele, as well as any of the additional sessions on the common law, natural law processes, emancipation and status correction, you're welcome to send us your email address so that we can make sure to get the invitations out to you. But King Hlalele, again, thank you enormously. I see we've got Paramount Chief Ndabazita's hand is up before we close. Paramount Chief Ndabazita, please go ahead.
I thank you very much, I think. Really, what I just want to request, I don't know whether I don't know, this technology is giving me a hard time. Oh, yes, I'm here. What I will also like maybe to look into after this session of lecture, in terms of our South African Constitution, Act 108 of 1996, Chapter 12 and Chapter 25. Yeah, section, let me say, no, not section, yeah, section 12 and 25. If we can look more into those and see how can we go around them, because most of us, we don't understand them much well. Even the bills which are being signed and stuff, we just hear about them, we just guess about them, but we will really like to make a plea to Ingonyama, King Hlalele, to maybe to teach us more about our constitution, especially that chapter 12, which is the shortest chapter of the constitution, and that 25. I thank you.
King Hlalele, I will add there as well. Thank you, Paramount Chief. We will also contribute to that knowledge through the various lessons and education sessions that we do share. And that's with regards the common law, natural law, and moving from maritime jurisdiction into land jurisdiction, which is then you move into being a sovereign living man or woman. So the Constitution then that is not your laws and rules. It's the Bill of Rights, the new South Africa Republic Bill of Rights. So that is additional information that we are able to share with the lessons that we provide on a Tuesday evening. Shaka, could I ask you just in the meantime, can you put the link to the Gift of Truth website for the manual, the education manual that Brother Thomas wrote for the traditional leaders? And it's under the education tab because a lot of information is shared in there, and possibly also the link to the Your Rights might be a good one as well. So those are two links on the Gift of Truth website, which is where we sort of originally come from. And there's a lot of good information on there that will assist in building that knowledge. But we welcome you onto the traditional leaders sessions on a Tuesday evening and also Thursday evening, which are our ones that are open to the public to gain this knowledge. But thank you so much, Paramount Chief. King Hlalele, I'd just like to find out from you, is there anything else that you would like to share or add before we actually close the meeting?
Thank you very much. I want just to thank you, the host of this evening, the co-host. I also want to thank the whole team with the meeting that we have had at Tandamanzi. I want to thank you very much for all the idea and the help that you have sustained us to get to the place and to enjoy meeting with other members, including Brother Thomas. It's been a wonderful gesture where we met. Also is a place actually where the cradle of mankind come from, of which I foresaid some times back that this year we must really celebrate it. We are the first people in the world. We are in the soil of the great ancestors that has given a birth to all mankind of the earth. Thank you very much. It has been a very good meeting that we have had. Thank you very much for all of us in this meeting. May the light shine more on us, bright in our hearts, in our souls, in our works, in our thinking, and then be multiplied in prosperity, in the things that are going to be useful for the new kingdom that we together build. Thank you.
Thank you, His Majesty. Thank you.
Thank you so much, King Hlalele. Much gratitude. And as you always like to say, Leseli, there is light. You are all of the light. Gratitude to all the traditional leaders for being here this evening and for such powerful conversations and powerful wisdom and knowledge shared. We really look forward to these future conversations and to continuing the education and the journey together for all of the people on this continent. So gratitude, King Hlalele, for all your hard work in the preparation. Good evening to all the gracious leaders and all guests, and to the team. Have a beautiful and a peaceful evening ahead. Thank you, everybody, and a very good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you all. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.